How many victims of domestic violence and sexual assault are there in the CNMI? What do the numbers look like? How many reports did your office receive this year? These are common questions that are asked to officials of the NMI Coalition Against Domestic Violence and Sexual Assault. And according to Executive Director Maisie Tenorio, there isn't really a real answer.
The reality about sexual assault is that it is the most underreported crime. And it's very typical for our own people, Pacific Islanders or Micronesians, to never report because of the culture of silence and shame associated with being a survivor, having somebody who has experienced sexual assault. It's very common for victims to delay reporting, like to wait years, or to never report at all.
This year was the first time they've had a male survivor speak out during the proclamation ceremony. Tenorio says to have two speakers share their story was an incredible moment for the movement.
We know from years of doing this work that it is incredibly hard, extremely hard to speak out publicly about your experiences with sexual assault.
Fred Sato is a law enforcement officer in the CNMI and is also a survivor of sexual assault. Sato shared what he went through as a foster care child in Guam with the audience and with his family who heard his story for the first time.
As I stand here right now, I'm hoping that with my story and stuff, it'll reach our victims and our survivors of the male community that help is here. I'm here. My number is here. I'm always open to lending an ear, helping you out as not only a survivor, but as a law enforcement officer, as a father, and as a experienced survivor.
It is quite rare for male victims and survivors to speak up, but part of the coalition's movement is to break the stigma for all victims.
To the male victims, the silent victims, whether you're a young boy, a teenage boy, an adult male, it is now time for us to stand up and battle this issue with sexual abuse. Not only sexual abuse, child abuse, domestic violence, it has to come to a stop.
He says it took more than 40 years to gather the courage to speak up. But he did it not just for his healing, but to inspire others as well.
It's finally time that I do it because right now I'm extremely exhausted. I am just tired and I just want the healing process to start. And with that, I thank you all.